Hello Taurus, welcome to your next 3 months check-in. This is for July 2025. Last time we connected, there was discussion around trying a new approach to whatever you were working on, whatever your focus was, and a decision coming up. So let's see if those thematics come out again. I do timestamp below, so you can skip ahead if you're not someone who enjoys watching the process. So we'll get your cards here, and we'll look at the same 6 dimensions. So we have your home environments. So those are the 2 places where you spend the majority of your time. Then we have your relationship with yourself within this kind of 3-month window. We like to check in on one of your heart's wishes. And then down around the bottom, we start to talk about, a situation or scenario and sort of your expectations around that. And then we look forward to something you don't expect to happen and what will come true based on today and where you're at in your current path. Okay, so we're going to get 2 cards per, and then just one or two or a few charms as well per. I'll just see here what's going on for Taurus as we look at August, September, October, and kind of where were you at that new approach and this decision coming up? How much closer is it? Is it still in the forecast? Okay. Oh, okay, so let's see what they want to add here. Kind of coming out quickly for you. Not too much hesitation. So I guess your soul energies are quite strong here. Ready to go, ready to talk. Just seeing here what they're trying to get out. And discarding a couple to let them fall. I'm just pausing because I do feel movement, so just, there we go. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of tune in here. Expecting travel or indulgence coming up, maybe some kind of festivity. Looks like you might need to be honest with self regarding something. Okay, let me just take a timestamp for our friends that join us at this point, and then we'll head on in. Starting with your home environments. So as I was saying, this is where you split the majority of your time, sort of the 2 main environments where you spend the majority of your time. So they're kind of shining the light here on some kind of false mask. Taurus, I don't know if you're putting on a false outward, like you're regarding your home environment, if what you're sharing and communicating and showing to the world is one version versus what's actually happening internally at home here. In the next 3 months, there seems to be a disconnect between whether there's our seeing, perceiving, and reality, the true situation. They want me to go this way. Okay. Yeah, there's like this wall up. Maybe you're not disclosing everything, right? You're kind of picking and choosing. Speaking of home, this could be like a fence, and people are trying to look through the fence, and you're kind of standing there very guarded. You're guarding the amount of awareness people have with regards to what's happening at your home. I don't know if there's a bit of chaos happening. I just feel like the fairies are kind of spinning and causing the stars here to shake out of the tree. So there seems to be some changes happening here in your home environment in the next 3 months that you're keeping close to the chest. You're not disclosing here to others, which is fine. It's your choice. They're not saying one way or the other. We're just acknowledging here that there are changes happening in your home space, and you may not be willing to let everybody know what's going on. Now, in the intro, when I was touching on your relationship with self, right away the charm, I said kind of like reality check. You need to be honest with self, kind of in and around there. Or maybe as it relates to the changes here. Like I'm seeing you being protective and not really letting anyone in, and maybe that's what the charm here is, right? You need to talk. This is the throat chakra with the wolf. You need to speak up, share with someone. Okay. Yeah, I feel like she's ignoring this bird, right? Your soul's energy, your intuition, your gut feeling. Your inner self is trying to communicate here with you, and you're just like la 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 la. You just don't want to deal with it. You don't want to confront this. And the charm's asking you to. The angels definitely want you to turn around and have this conversation with self. Maybe it's seeking counseling, someone to talk to, right? Some support, some help. You don't have to do this by yourself. Again, with the little birdie friend. This isn't on you to kind of go through. If there are changes in your environment, you can find someone within your network, or like I said, some helpline or counseling to help you through it. Coming to your heart's wish. So they're shining a light on a decision you've already made. So I don't know if you've been asking, like, where is this? I keep asking for this wish to come true. Why can't I make this happen? But they're shining on a decision you made. So this prior decision, or this decision you made, may be the reason why there's a delay in your wish coming true, or the wish can no longer come true. Sometimes it needs to change and evolve, right? Yeah, you made a decision quite a while ago. So there's maybe a fork in the road moment. Maybe there was a key decision in your life. Maybe you walked away from a job. Maybe you walked away from a person. And I'm saying walk away because it's your decision. It was your decision. And kind of over time, right? Since the time you made that decision, and kind of the new path you went out, sort of see how your wish has kind of transformed and has this overgrowth on it. And you're kind of sitting there going, what the heck? What happened? I don't understand what happened. But you kind of laid your wish to rest in this lifetime. I think maybe it's going to be one you'll pick up next lifetime, or trying to see if they're letting me know if it's going to come around again, another rotation. I mean, there's always possibility to turn things around here, but again, maybe getting kind of real with self, maybe reflecting back and trying to remember what this key decision was. What action did you take that's left your wish cup here empty, as it relates to this particular wish. And you should know what it is. This is a heart's desire, so it's something you've been pining for and something you've been wondering, where is it, where is it, where is it? But it's sort of cause and effect, right? The karma you put out, that's what you receive back. So for whatever reason, you're left empty here, but it could be related to what you're avoiding. You know, the acceptance, the admittance of your role, your responsibility, your accountability. Again, we have the refusal to share, like I was seeing here. So kind of closed off here, Taurus. Kind of need you to open up a bit. Acknowledge your feelings with yourself. Okay. Just tuning in down here. In the intro, I was saying, so you expect travel or some kind of festivity or indulgence. Kind of what I see here, right? She's focused on watering this one palm tree to bring bounty and wealth, and is ignoring everything else, right? The fairies were shaking the stars, right? Shaking all the wishes out of the tree. And you're just kind of standing there by the fence watching. Again, kind of going to that mask here. So you expect, travel, movement, change, happiness, indulgence is what you're expecting, what you're dreaming of here, or what's in your calendar. Could be what's already in your calendar, sort of travel or an event coming up. Yeah, I see you kind of, you're juggling some commitments here in the next 3 months. So it's probably your calendar's getting filled up with various trips or social gatherings, social events. So like I said, you already are expecting, you're already aware, but they are showing you juggling commitments. So are you overwhelming your calendar? Are you going to be running from one to the other? Is that more distraction? More distraction from what you're truly trying to focus in on here. Okay. So what you don't expect. Well, here's your wish. You're given the star. So what you don't expect, and we saw that there because you're asking where is it. So what you don't expect is the actual wish fulfillment. Here's your wolf, right? You're howling to the moon. So again, they're asking you to speak, right? Magic, so manifest. So maybe refocus back in on this wish. Maybe you need to change it a bit based on your decision. Like I said, wishes need to adjust, etc., based on our free will. So it's not that the wish won't come true, it just needs to manifest in a different form. So once you acknowledge that, start envisioning make the subtle changes here to your wish. So for example, if you've been wishing for that dream job with X company, but in the past maybe you burnt a bridge with someone that works there, so you're kind of blocked from that company, find another better similar company, right? So just changing your wish here. But it is emotional. So again, it's something tied to an emotional, profound emotional moment in your life. Like this is a key enough event, scenario that happened, decision that happened. It's weighing on your mind. It weighs on your shoulder. It's something you probably always reflect back on and think about. With the intuition's kind of always there. You're always kind of carrying it with you, but you need to release it, right? You need to release it. Howl. you need to deal with your emotions here to welcome in your wish. And that could just be the decision, right? Maybe that is as simple as the message gets. You're making a decision to ignore, facing it, talking about it, sharing, letting others in order for you to get your wish here. So based on where you're at, your trajectory, what is sure to come true for you, we have a change in perspective with the bat charm. So what is sure to come true is your ability to shift your perspective, your ability to do this, your ability to let go and fly, right? You're kind of, again, hanging on to a little bit. You're letting it stay with you, and you need to release it to fly. So what is sure to come true is it's possible. You know, I look at this beautiful story. Look at you making the choice. So coming back to a choice, you're making a choice to release, right? This profound emotional, maybe traumatic trauma, whatever you went through, whatever you're holding on to. Look at you releasing it, right? Your body's drained. It's all intuition, creativity, passion, but the emotions being released. And then you have your guardian angel here welcoming you to like embark now. Now you can get on this ferry here to your wish, right? To your wish fulfillment. So until you release this emotional this emotion, whatever you're caught up on, whatever you're dwelling on, whatever you're carrying around with you for however long, it could just be guilt associated to this decision. Just release that, let it go. Carrying around guilt never serves you. And then step aboard wish fulfillment here. So that's a nice, beautiful ending here, that showing your strength and your ability, right, to release this. It's like the Titan Atlas, right, releasing the weight of the world. Finally, I believe he gets turned to stone, as her arm's getting turned to stone, to finally release him. Turning to stone releases him from the weight, right? He never has to hold on to it anymore. So Taurus, let's see how you do. We'll check in next month, and we'll look forward again the next 3 months, and we'll see how your story is progressing.